All right. Welcome back, everyone. Youngzers, episode 24, I believe. Last week was the Christmas special, so yeah, episode 24. Got a jam-packed episode. Us three here today. Robert's taking the night off. Missed the guy though, so he'll be back next week. Um, so boys, what's going on? How are we feeling?
Great weekend to be a Pittsburgh sports fan, except for the Winter Classic. But
Yeah.
hey, you hit 3 of 4, you'll take
Yeah.
it. You'll take
Yeah.
it. Actually,
Yeah.
I'll go 4 or 5. Right? I'll go 4 or 5.
What am I missing?
Pitt hoops, Pitt football,
Yeah.
Penn
Yeah.
State, just
All right. Yep. Okay.
Steelers, and I'm going to give a little shout out to Penn State basketball, 11-3. Looking good. Typically, not really a great program when it comes to hoops, but I follow them. Good to see them winning. Jalen Pickett's a stud, but let's just get right in. The Steelers are alive.
Steelers are somehow alive. Verbal meme, call an ambulance, not for me. Somehow the Steelers are. I don't know. Who need to lose? The Dolphins and the Jets, right?
No, the
Or
Dolphins need
Seahawks
to
need to
lose.
win, and the
No.
Dolphins.
No,
need to lose.
no. They need the Bills to win against
I
the
meant
Pats. Oh, this week?
What just happened? I meant.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
'Cause somehow that I don't even know what needs to happen now. But
Yeah. Well,
Bills need to beat the Patriots.
and the Dolphins need to lose to the Jets.
And the
Yeah,
Steelers.
that's awesome.
And the Steelers have to win. And it is very possible because the Dolphins don't have Tua and they don't have Teddy Bridgewater. They're going to be playing their third string quarterback against the Jets. I mean, the Jets are eliminated, so they could play spoiler for Miami, but
Yeah.
and I see them doing that because they're in the same division. It's going to be a tough divisional game for them. Just like I wouldn't write the Pats off either. Playing the Bills, and it all depends on what happens tonight too. So, but
Chubby Mac Jones beats them.
crazier things have happened.
I know, and I'll be damned if that happens.
So, but yeah, I just like you said, Montz, it was a good weekend minus the Winter Classic. Well, it depends in general. They're lost 3 in a row so far. Or is that 4?
Look good. They're not. They're looking like a dead team. They're looking
Stale.
like stagnant. That's what I was
Yeah.
gonna say.
They look
Yeah.
slow. Dumoulin looks real bad. Dumoulin looks real bad.
We'll get
Yeah,
into that.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Get
no,
into-
no. See, I got to keep you in line sometimes.
But what I was gonna say is the only thing I'm not worried about the Steelers winning or I think they'll get it done this week. I think they'll get it done against the Browns at home. I think the Bills will get it done. Right? It's for seeding, so they're gonna have all their guys geared up, ready to play.
Yeah.
I'm more worried about the Jets winning.
Yeah,
That's the one. The Jets stink. They're so bad.
I think they can get it done. Skylar Thompson might be starting for Miami, so
Is Mike White back?
Yeah.
But there's one X factor that we're overlooking for the weekend, and it's the Steelers-Browns game. Depending on how rizzed up Deshaun Watson is this weekend, could determine a lot of things for the Pittsburgh Steelers in the playoffs.
I don't see. Did you see some of the plays he was trying to make? I understand they ended up winning, right? But
Yeah.
he didn't look good at all. He threw it to his left tackle.
Yeah, I mean,
and here's the thing.
yeah.
Here's the thing with quarterbacks like that, and I've said it before, and I'll say it again. The Steelers come to play against those mobile quarterbacks most of the time. They always play well against Lamar. They've had Deshaun's number in the past when he's with the Texans. Cleveland's another dead team again. What is this, the 30th year in a row they'll have a worse record than the Steelers? I just don't see Cleveland beating the Steelers. I just don't see it. I understand they did, but they'll end up running Chubb 3 times, and that's it, like they did last year.
Do you think Deshaun Watson looks distracted, Dan? Would you say he looks, he's not mentally locked in on the field?
Yeah, he sees that massage table over there. As other people call it, a training table, and I think that gets him a little roused up.
Well, that, and then you compound that with the fact Bill Cosby is going back on tour in 2023. Deshaun might want to get the football season over so him and Billy can go on tour together. I'm not saying why. I'm not saying what's going on, but birds of a feather flock together. You might see an opportunity.
We're out here connecting the dots. We're on to you. But
Here's what I'm going to say about the situation. I don't think that Deshaun Watson is ready for a game at Acrisure Stadium. I think he's been to Baltimore. They won that game 10-3, 13-3. That was a couple weeks ago. But he hasn't been around 100 30 something thousand Yinzers that are
Yeah.
like playoff implications that they're coming out. They're coming out. We're coming out of the woodwork for this game. You're gonna have guys shirtless in 20-degree weather, possibly painted up. You'll have Steely McBeam doing his thing wherever. But I don't think he's ready for the environment that the fans are gonna bring. I don't think he's ready for, the defense. We have a pretty veteran defense. This game, this is personal to them.
Oh
I
yeah.
don't think that this rivalry is very personal to Deshaun Watson at all yet.
No.
So I think he's going to take a beating. And
you like you said, the crowd's going to be, it's going to be a wild atmosphere down at Acrisure. Jake Gard, I'm sure, will be in the stands. Side note, he came in last in the punishment league. So
Steelers Jesus, Ben Gard right there.
Along with Dan and I doing the calendar, Gucci, you're not escaping this one. Jake Gard got a punishment. He's going to unleash some demons. Deshaun's going to take a look in the crowd, and he's going to see Youngzers Jesus staring him down. So
Gucci Gard, Youngzers Jesus.
I like how you touched on the Steelers defense real quick because I saw something tweeted. I like to get some information that is credible and it's numbers, and you can't deny the numbers, right? So with and without TJ Watt, do you know how big of a difference it is? Just that one guy. He's a game breaker. We all know that.
Absolutely.
But if you look at the numbers, with TJ Watt, they're 7-2. Without him, they're 1-6. Points allowed per game, 17.2 with him, 25.3 without him. And whenever your offense is struggling to score points, that's huge. That's why you win more when he's out there.
I want to know like time on the field. What do they have that too?
No, but they have like total yards.
Okay.
286.8 to 389.9.
Yeah.
Almost 390 yards. We'll call it 390 yards. So you're talking a 100-yard difference when he's out there. Sacks is 25 to 8 without him.
I mean,
takeaways. Here's the big one, and a lot of people don't understand. Takeaway 16 when he's out there, 5 when he's not. He disrupts so much. If it's not a strip sack or he's forcing a fumble on a running back, he's disrupting that pocket, getting the guys with their happy feet, the quarterbacks at the happy feet, making them step up, and they're making bad throws. They're gonna scheme against Deshaun, and it's gonna get ugly.
I mean, you look at the impact he has, like you said, it's not just when he's making plays. Teams have to add, the running back chipping in when he's blitzing, and he gets so much attention that frees up a lot of the other, defensive players. Highsmith, he's had a great season overall, but it's like he's on another level when Watt's out there. We saw the same thing when Bud Dupree was on the opposite side.
Bud better send him some money. He got him paid.
It frees him up, but touching on the defense, and it kind of goes on both sides of the ball. I was pretty impressed with how they went with the youth movement against Baltimore. So you have Jalen Warren on the offensive side that splitting carries with Najee. They're both fresh, and I think that elevates both of them, where it's not just a workhorse like Najee, having to carry the load. You have Freiermuth and Pickens, who are all young, looking good on offense. And then defensively, I was impressed. Mark Robinson.
Oh, yeah.
1 year of linebacker, Ole Miss. He was a running back.
Yes.
He got the start over Devin Bush. Devin Bush barely even, I think, got maybe 4 snaps or something like that. Something low total. I was looking. But Mark Robinson's an absolute thumper. And you have him and DeMarvin Leal. And I don't know if you saw Tomlin's press conference, but he was talking about how those young guys on defense are just nasty. And AFC North football, that's what you need. You need those hungry dogs. That's what they are. I love seeing it. And that's like the next wave of, the Steelers defense coming up. So I'm excited that they're trusting the youth more now. That's just how it's going to have to be. And I think they played a really, really great defensive game Sunday night.
Yeah.
So
and go ahead.
I was going to say, why stop there, though, with the AFC North? Why don't put the junkyard dogs in against, the rest of the league, just not these divisional matchups?
Like Robinson's a raw prospect, so like he's not great in coverage, so it's hard to trust him. But Bobby Spillane played well yesterday. Miles Jack, he got hurt again, the groin injury that's been flaring up. But I think it was just time where if it's a do or die situation like this, like you said, Ryan, why not play him most of the year? I think it was time where, all right, they've had the season under their belts. Let's turn it over to them and see if it provides a spark. And it did. So that's how I think Tomlin was looking at it. He likes to trust his veterans, but I think he kind of realized that let's get some of the young blood in there.
Here's the other thing with the matchup yesterday. It was kind of a perfect storm to get Mark Robinson in there because you have Tyler Huntley playing. He's not going to sling the ball out there. And they torched them on the ground in that first matchup. Devin Bush, not a great run stopper. That's why him and Bobby Spillane last year were splitting time. Devin Bush is your Ryan Shazier-esque middle linebacker. Shorter, fast, quick side to side. So he's better in coverage, getting them backs out of the backfield. Even a slot guy if he has to, or a tight end, he could cover really well. But Mark Robinson is your run stopper. And so is Bobby Spillane. You have them two hosses in the middle there, and they were clogging the run up. They played very well. Bobby Spillane. Who was on the call last night? Was that Collinsworth?
Yeah.
I can't stand
I cannot stand him, but he kept saying, "Oh, Bobby Spillane was just a special teamer, and he's playing all the snaps."
He hasn't been a special. He's obviously been a special teamer, but he's been playing meaningful snaps on defense.
Yeah,
I could not stand half the shit he was saying last night. When Cam Hayward got called for that unsportsmanlike conduct, it's like, well, if you're Cam Hayward, you have to know. But shut up. That was a bullshit call, number one. Number two, you're just pissed because the Steelers pounded you when you played for the Bengals.
all the time.
Oh, I cannot stand when he's on.
It's the same song and dance with him every time he's on commentary against the Steelers. You know, he's preying on their downfall the whole game, and he was all giddy all 4 quarters. And then the last drive, where's he at? He's quiet. He's just sitting there, you know. I'm glad they punched him in the mouth too, kind of there, and shut him up. I don't like him at all. I hate to be like the generic, Steeler fan, because we see it all the time, like Collinsworth this, Collinsworth that. But like at some point, like just stop being petty. As a sports broadcaster, you gotta be neutral. So like, come on now.
Yeah, and that's he's done this for years. And our dad, Tom's favorite line when this happens, Collinsworth's giddy the whole game. Steelers shut him up, and he's in the recliner. He's yelling, "What's the matter, Collinsworth? You got lockjaw now." He's every game that scenario happens. I'd bet the house on that line coming out from Tom there. So that's the perfect example, though. He gets lockjaw. Steelers play well. Suddenly he's a mute. I don't care for the guy.
Yeah, but back to stats and what actually happened in the game. I was watching that first drive, and I was impressed. Over just under 8 minutes, 7 minutes. Wait, I have it written down. Just under 7 or 8 minutes. It was like 7 minutes, 59 seconds taken off. 15-play drive. Mm-hmm. It stalled there in the red zone. That false start really, really hurts because it takes a bunch of plays off the board for you. But in that drive, we saw a quarterback sneak, something that we haven't seen in 18 years. Glad to see it. Gunnar Olszewski actually had a big block on was it that screen pass or was it a run? One of the two. But Gunnar actually got his nose in there, and I think Jaylen Warren took it an extra 12 yards. So he was getting his nose in there. But then, like you said, Najee and Jaylen running hard. Najee 22 carries for 111 yards, which is good. That's 5 yards an average. Yeah. And then Jaylen Warren 12 carries on 76 yards, 6.3. So he was ripping them off too. So I liked what I saw out of the offense in that first drive for sure.
And you're forgetting about a nice 3rd and 1 conversion from Pro Bowl alternate fullback Derek Watt.
Yes, we did see that too.
Don't overlook that. That's what he gets paid $5 million a year for. No, I'm just gonna not $5 million, but you know what I mean.
We saw so much versatility in that first drive. It was actually like, wow, I know that like I've said before, your first drive, maybe second drive as well, are scripted, so you know what you're gonna run, and where and when. But it was nice to see, pound Najee, dump it off to Freiermuth, Kenny with the quarterback sneak, Watt, with the 1 yard dive. I mean, everybody was getting involved there. I liked it. I really did like that first drive. And that was the big thing. Even if Lamar was going to play, you took time off the clock. You kept your defense off the field. You kept their offense on the sidelines. And that's what you need to do to win, especially nasty games like that. You're going to win low-scoring games. You have to.
Yeah, absolutely.
And also, it was just a boring game for the most part. And once again, like that last 5 minutes just is captivating. You can't look away. Like that whole game, I'm not gonna lie, I was looking away now and then, scrolling through Twitter. But that last 5 minutes, I just couldn't look away. I don't know if Kenny Pickett can just keep that mentality of last drive, I need to win this game, the whole way through. Like, I don't know. I think he'd be one of the best Like, they were calling him Patrick Mahomes last night. Like, that's a stretch.
Did you see some of the passes that he made
Yeah.
though?
He was
Uh,
slinging.
he was making things happen with his feet as well.
And, like,
So
I like how he's not afraid, though. A lot of rookie quarterbacks, it's the opposite way around. They'll play decent, like, the whole day, like, the whole game, and then that last drive, they kind of fold in on themselves, make the big mistake, which we did see that early in the year. I think that was, the Miami game where he threw that pick at the end. But, I mean, we're seeing some pretty, I guess you could say, like, consistent growth from him since that. So I think he's progressing a little faster. He's not shy of the big moment. So I'll give him props there. That's all I'm going to say. I'll give him props for that.
Kenny Pickett, potential. That one's for the Guff gang right there. Potential. Kenny Pickett. I mean, love it.
His ceiling's pretty high. It really is. And you see that he's just breaking down the game pretty well. It doesn't look too fast for him.
Yeah.
So, and he trusts in his system that he's got to play in right now. I'd like to see him grow a little more, make less mental mistakes. But now I got to look it up over the past, I don't know. After that Miami game, I know he's got 9 interceptions.
I don't think he's thrown that many.
He threw
most of those were
3
tip balls too. Most of those were tip balls. But I do like how he has that. Like, you can't teach certain things, and I know I said this the other day if you follow me on the Twitter, but you can't teach like the clutch factor or like the ice in your veins. Like, I feel like that he has that. He's able to win the big games and step up in the big moments. So
yeah, you can't teach moxie. That's what it is. He's got the.
You can't teach having a twig and berries. If they ain't there, they ain't there. Like, you can't teach.
Okay, so he's got 9 on the year. He threw 3 against the Jets, 1 against the Bills, none against the Bucks.
Did he have 4?
3 against the Dolphins, 1 against the Eagles. Then he went on a stretch, 1, 2, 3, 4 games in a row without throwing one. Then was out that one game against the Ravens. At least, yeah. And then threw 1 against the Raiders. I'll take that after the Dolphins game. He's thrown 2 picks in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games. I'll take that.
And then run those numbers against Big Ben last year, because I feel like he was like a 1 a game kind of guy. I don't know.
Ben was the gunslinger, but I think, like you said, the development, we're seeing it where at the beginning of the year he is forcing a lot of throws. Some of those were tipped, but he wasn't making the right reads. And as you can see, he's taking care of the ball more. He doesn't fumble, which is a big part. And I think, like Ryan said, from last year, look at Ben. But he has, he can extend plays with his legs, which is what Ben used to be able to do. And he put it in the last few years, obviously. But, defenses have to worry about that now.
Yeah. And just so you know, he only threw 10 picks last year, Big Ben.
Okay.
So
how many can he have? 9 total?
He has 9 total, yeah.
So are you taking the tie or the under or the over there?
Well, if the over-under, let's say the over-under is 10. Because if he hits 10, that's the push. If you put over under at 10, I'm gonna take the under. I don't think he throws one next week at all.
Jeez. Also, I don't know if Andrew just saw that they're doing like CPR on Damar Hamlin right now in the Bills game, so that's kind of crazy. But
that's scary. Like legit.
Yeah.
From what I heard, yeah.
Yep, it's on Twitter. They're giving Damar Hamlin CPR on the field.
Yeah,
that's scary. Wow. That's scary as hell.
What I was gonna say is the mentality as a fan has just like flipped for me completely. Like they're 1-6, and like I wasn't excited to watch game. I mean, I'll watch a football game. Like I'll show up. I'll bring my lunch pail in. I'll clock in and clock out for a Steeler game, but it just wasn't that exciting. Like, I'm excited to watch our young offense play now. And, like, the fact that I'm just stunned. I'm usually not stunned. But the fact that the Steelers can go over 500 this year is, like, kind of a crazy thought from where they started. So did they start? They started 1-6, right?
Yeah.
So then, what are they, 8-8 right now? So they went 6-2. In that stretch, that's kind of crazy. If you'd have told me they would have went 6-2, like I would have been. I'm just like blown away by that, honestly, because we all counted them down and out. Like we had them at like 2-15. Like I think the best we had them at was like 6-11 or something. I don't know.
Wow. Yeah. I'm just reading, like I'm just scrolling Twitter. DeMar Hamlin makes a tackle, stand up, fainted, hit his head off the back of the turf. He's been down for 15 minutes on the field. They're doing CPR.
Oh wow.
The ambulance is out there. Like, how do you play the game after that?
Well, that happened to that guy in the Stars game a couple years ago. He fell
Richard
over on the bench. Yeah. Went
Yeah.
to cardiac arrest, and
He's a Pitt guy too, right?
yeah.
He's a Pittsburgh guy, right? He's from Pittsburgh, DeMar Hamlin.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of people are saying like they've never seen someone get down. Like, I don't know. That just sucks the air out of like
McKees rocks.
Yeah.
Yeah, that takes there's more to football. I don't know how you play. I don't know how you continue this game tonight.
Well, I even saw that like Stephon Diggs and Allen are just in tears.
Yeah.
So
that's
like, yeah, you want to get up and win for your buddy, your teammate, your brother, but that's tough. That's a tough scene. It's not something that you want to be a part of.
it. Just said they have him lifted up on the stretcher and they have an IV bag administering him right now.
So I wonder if he just fainted, and so he made a tackle and just collapsed and then hit his head.
He stood up after the tackle, and then I guess he just just fell straight back and slammed his head.
Wow.
And
yeah, that's I just watched it. It was like T. Higgins, and then he got up. Then all of a sudden he just just looks like he sits down and just goes. Like, that's just wild. Like, I've never seen something like that.
That's scary.
He gets up just fine. It looks like he knows where he's at. Like he's about to like shake someone's hand or something. Like celebrate the tackle.
Yeah, I'm looking.
Yeah, you just hate to see that. Like, wish the best for him, honestly.
Absolutely.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah,
that is scary.
Like, it's like no joke because like the ambulance is like driving on. Like they wouldn't take an ambulance on a field during a game. Like yeah, and like Josh Allen, like Andrew said, is like hysterical right now, kind of.
Yeah, they're. Yeah, that's just crazy.
Yeah, I don't. But yeah.
Yeah.
It feels weird doing like a podcast after even seeing.
You know what? Did you see the hit?
He got hit in the chest. I wonder
if he was exposed. So I don't know if you ever saw what happened to Chris Pronger years and years and years and years ago. The puck hit him in the chest and he started skating. Then he collapsed. Kind of the same thing hit him right in the solar plex. Hit him up high, and it just stopped his heart. So maybe something like that happened. That's scary as fuck.
Because isn't that something like with the timing too? Like if your heart like beats at the exact second it's hit, and like that little like snap of a finger moment, like.
Yeah, do you guys remember that off. The Raiders drafted a few years ago, that corner? Did you ever see the story of him in college? He got hit like that in the game, and it actually tore
his blood vessel or his heart valve.
Yeah. And they said the only reason he survived, they said it was like they got to the hospital and they said it's like trying to put tissue paper back together and
sewing it together. Yeah.
That's you hate to.
I think that was on a ESPN, like not a 30 for 30, but like a E60 or something. I saw that on. Yeah.
Like I was shook up. Was that last year or 2 years ago? This guy was completely fine, but they went to like a commercial. This guy like from the Raiders like ran full tilt into the booger mobile. And like the announcers all acted like he was legit like down like real bad.
He was under the booger mobile. Yeah.
He went full speed into the booger mobile and just like he was out like a light. And like I was like, dang, like I thought the guy was like down. I was like, he's down.
That's
all right.
A few years ago, I was watching a college basketball game and the kid just went into cardiac arrest sitting on the bench. He just come off, got subbed out.
The kid from Florida, yeah.
No. It was a smaller school. I can't remember who was playing.
Because it happened. That kid from Florida.
The kid from Florida had COVID, and that ended up messing him up, and then it screwed him up. Yeah. I mean, it just shows that life's valuable, man. So there's more to these sports than just entertainment for people.
Like, how do you sit there as a fan? Like, imagine being at that game too.
It's almost like you really can't compare it to that. But like when Kevin Ware blew his leg out. And how do you finish that? And the fans actually saw that and they knew what was going on. They were physically shocked. You could just see it on their faces.
Yeah.
As a fan, I don't know if I hang out. Yeah, that's just
You can't be in the right mental state or like place to like, especially if your quarterback's looking like that.
Yeah.
You can't be in the right space to, go out and win a game. Or like, I feel like people like that, like it's bigger than a game to them. Like how can you sit there and be like, oh, I need to win this game. Like I need to throw this ball through the air. Like it's a
I don't know.
child's game.
Yeah.
Like something just happened to a human that you see every day, and like you probably know at a real personal level.
Yeah.
Like you're on the same team as this guy. Like I don't know.
Yeah,
Bigger than sports. Some things.
That's a tough scene.
It's just, it's like, you see that and it's like, we're not even involved in that, but just like seeing that video and, someone collapsing and CPR and a guy on a football field, like
Yeah,
that just puts a sick feeling in your stomach.
it does.
Yeah. Well, anyway, what were we even on? Steelers? I think we're
So.
honestly wrapping that up. But
Yeah.
Browns next week. I'm giving them a W, but I think the Jets won't win, and that's what's gonna spoil the party. They're gonna save the Tomlin 500s like winning season, but I
think even if the Dolphins and Jets tie, I think they still make it in. I think. So you could hope for a tie or a Jets win. So
yeah.
we'll see. Well, any given Sunday. That's why I just don't like. I don't like Miami. Especially they're playing their third string quarterback.
Yeah, I don't think
because
but the Jets. I think it's to be like whose defense is better. That's what it's gonna come down to.
that's fair.
The Jets also don't have like a good running game though either. The Dolphins.
No, because what's his name got hurt earlier in the year.
Carter and or not
Brees.
Brees Hall. Yeah,
Brees Hall.
Fantasy.
So, I mean, he was tearing it up too. So,
yeah, he'd have been like probably rookie of the year, like offensive rookie of the year.
Possibly.
Yeah, because who else would it have been?
Kenny Two Gloves.
Who?
Kenny Two Gloves.
Nah. Like I like the guy, and like I'm a Steelers fan, but like I gotta be realistic about it. Like like I'll put this in perspective. Like Brees Hall is like a must start for fantasy, like every single week. Yeah. Like Kenny Pickett, he's not must start.
No.
But all right, what do you guys want to move on to? Pens, college football, or
let's keep football. Let's go college football.
Let's go college football. Dan, you want to take away? We're gonna go Pitt first.
Sure.
Let's go Pitt football. Big win for Pitt football. What was it? The Peach Bowl?
Sun Bowl, Sun Bowl.
I mean, the Tiger Sun Bowl. Sorry, Peach Bowl was that's who Georgia.
Yeah, little comeback area, a little walk off as time expired against UCLA. It was a good game though. It was entertaining. Kept my interest because I'm a homer.
Sloppy, but it was entertaining.
It was sloppy. But you like to see them pull it out, especially when they're a dog like that. Yeah. Nick Patty went out there and balled like he always does in bowl games because he only gets to play in bowl games. Poor guy.
Hey, that's a great setup for him, though. Hey, just play the bowl game, all right?
Yeah. And when he's your second leading rusher too, there's something wrong. Well, Izzy didn't play. Somebody else didn't play. I know we had Rodney Hamilton Jr. playing, so he 25 carries for 89 yards. But yeah, it was a good game. Like I said, it's good to see them finish the year on a high note, even though they were expected to win the ACC and there were high hopes, and you stumble and you stub your toe against lesser opponents and opponents you should beat. But it is what it is. I think it's a building year for them. It just shows how much Kenny Pickett did do for you last year, and then even Jordan Addison. That connection, losing them two guys is huge. But yeah. I think it's going to be brighter days for Pitt football here in the near future. I think Narduzzi's gotten everybody to buy into his system, and I like Pat. I do. I just hope he can start recruiting well. Don't let these guys go. No offense to you guys. Don't let the kids in your backyard go to Penn State, Ohio State, Notre Dame like they normally do, and then keep recruiting Florida well like he does too. So, but yeah. So on to you guys. Big granddaddy of them all champions, huh, bud?
Yeah. Honestly, it feels good. Like I'll say what I say about Sean Clifford, but at the end of the day today, it left a good feeling in my heart about the guy. Like, say what you want, like I'll call him like mediocre sometimes, borderline horrible. But today, like it showed he's been there 7 years, and you know what? The stats that he's like first in for might be a little inflated because he played 7 years, but like I'll respect him. He wore his heart on his sleeve today. You could tell that was the last meaningful game, and he knew of football that he'd probably play in his life. And I'll put my hand up. Sean Clifford, your Twig and Berry Man of the Week. I'll show you respect for the rest of your career.
Great way to go out. Yeah.
He really stuck his head down. He got it done. He took some big hits for the team. He stepped up through a lot of nice passes that
that 86 yarder, that bomb.
Yeah,
that was on the money. That was a really good.
He called
throw.
an audible, and I was like, "Oh, here we go!" And he threw an absolute dart right down the middle through like the smallest window he could have to who was that for the tight end?
Theo Johnson.
Yeah, Theo Johnson. And I was just like, "Oh, whatever he called just worked, I guess." But you know what? He went out, won one of the big. You might say Sean Clifford's bad, but he just won the biggest game that I remember of Penn State football in a while. So. You know what? I'll put that tier 1 of games that I've watched Penn State win. Right up there with the Big Ten championship, beating Ohio State. But, that's a regular season game. And then the only big game I barely remember them winning is that Orange Bowl way back when. I didn't know what
Florida
it meant.
State.
Yeah, but that was pretty cool.
Well, that wasn't anything. Sebastian Janikowski, you bastard. Wide left, wide right. Yeah. Anywho. I'm a little salty about that.
Just to interject, they're temporarily suspending the game right now. Both teams are heading back to the locker room.
Yeah, as they should.
Yeah. But yeah, Penn State, it was nice to see them finally win the Rose Bowl. They lost to USC years ago. But overall, I mean, their defense has looked really great the whole year. The young guys really stepped up. Yeah. They looked great. And I could not have dreamed up a better bowl weekend where you have Penn State win, you have Pitt win, you have UNC lose, you have Ohio State lose, and you have Michigan lose. Jordan Addison transferred from Pitt just so he could go to USC and lose to Tulane. I mean,
hey, ride that green wave, baby. Ride that green wave.
Big green wave guy now. I love it.
Huge green wave guy.
Also, you guys might have to apologize to me because I said TCU is going to win it all. And everyone's saying, "Oh, they're not getting by Michigan."
I'll tell you right now. They play the same way that they played against Michigan. They'll kill Georgia. They'll kill them.
I wouldn't say kill them. It'll be a game.
I don't think it'll be. I'm telling you right now. I don't think Georgia can put up the points like TCU can. Honestly, yeah.
TCU.
Honestly, from what I just saw,
they have something to play for.
Absolutely. Yeah.
They got that mentality where. We probably won't be back here for a while. This is our 1-1 chance. They lost their conference championship. They were all like,
in heartbreaking
fashion. That was their
too.
game. That was their game. The conference championship. That was their national championship.
Yeah.
And after you lose a game like that, and you get this second chance, you're not blowing that second chance.
No, you're not going to.
Georgia's been there. They've done that. They're probably going to walk in just like Michigan probably walked in and say. TCU, they don't deserve to be here. So you know what? Anytime that I've seen a team like that kind of taken lightly, that, some teams are better than others. But when you have that added element of like the underdog chip on my shoulder, like this is our last chance, like we probably won't be here for a while. Like realistically, like this is the one chance like for this university to make its mark. Like, I'll stand in that corner every day of the week. Any man. I'll go back to my classic quote: "Any man with 2 hands."
Yeah.
Yep. And there's a few things I want to touch on about college football. Was in a heated debate with somebody in a party the other day.
I can't.
Here is all I'm saying. A lot of people want to say that Alabama was snubbed from getting into the playoffs. Would they have put up a better fight against Georgia than Ohio State did? Who knows? Because they didn't play. It was a great game. Came down to that dude just shanking that ball.
Yeah,
hey, DJ, why don't you get a tryout? I'm sure you
wasn't even close.
Anywho, I always like to look at like conferences and how they do in bowl games overall, because there's so many of them. And right off the bat, you'd think of the two Big Ten teams that lose in the playoffs, and that's got to sour you a little bit. Penn State, for me, picked up the Big Ten there, and it wasn't all losing for you guys. And I wanted to say, if I'm not in the playoffs, I want to play in the Rose Bowl. I want to play in the granddaddy of them all. But right now, the Big Ten is 5-4. The ACC also 5-4.
Yeah.
They both had 9 teams go to a bowl. The SEC had 11 teams go to a bowl, and they're 6-5. So the Big 12 is 2-6. So that just shows you where's the Pac-12?
Pac-12's
3-4.
Yeah, they have to be.
So yeah, you know who your better conferences are, but for the Big Ten to lose the 2 big games, I almost think that the committee doesn't put in 2 Big Ten teams again until there's expansion, and that's in a couple years. I think you'll have 2 SEC teams from now on. I really do.
Here's like a little debate question I have. Do you think that Penn State had a better season than Michigan and Ohio State?
See, no, because
you win the granddaddy of them all, or you lose in the college football playoff and you get nothing.
I'd rather make it to the college football playoff and have a chance to win it all than just go to a bowl game. But if I was going, like I said, if I was going to play in a bowl game, it'd be the Rose Bowl that I'd want to play in. I wouldn't want to play in the Sugar Bowl or the Orange Bowl, Cotton Bowl. No, Tostitos, Frito Lay's Bowl. No, I want to play in the Rose Bowl, or I want to play in the playoffs to win it all. But since they both had a chance to do that, I think that they still had a better season at Penn State, even though Penn State won the Rose Bowl. Because would you rather go and say my team was in the playoffs, we were one of the top 4 teams, or my team won the Rose Bowl?
The only thing I'd say is, like, I really wish they'd do like another game for 3rd and 4th place. That's like, that would make it a little more worthwhile. If you're guaranteed another game with, like, stipulation at the end, I don't know, for 3rd, 4th place.
You look at how many people opt out. I mean,
even out of out of bowls that like mean something.
For a spot. It means nothing 3rd or 4th. I mean, obviously you want to see that. Fans would love to see a game like that, but the players, that's just
you get Michigan and Ohio State again.
Huh?
You'd get Michigan and Ohio State playing again, and like me from now, this is high school. I understand. But we had an option to play Apollo my senior year for something doesn't happen behind me. For what is it, like a 10th game? Nobody wanted to play it. Us seniors were done. And then you're talking about kids that are either going to be in the draft or are seniors or already declared for the draft and they sat out their bowl game. That's just another bowl or another game that means nothing. You don't get a trophy. Hey, you're 3rd place. You're 3rd best. So. Yeah, I understand where you're coming from, though, Ryan, because as a fan, I'd love to
just shot that out. I didn't think of it from that perspective. I was just thinking, like, it'd be pretty cool to see that. But now I could say,
absolutely,
you'd have, like, Joe Schmo, who rode the bench for about 24 weeks, and he's a redshirt senior, never played a game starting at quarterback, Yeah.
But because, like, if it came down to that, is CJ Stroud going to play in that game?
No.
So
you're not.
You're not going to get the best product on the field at that point either.
You're barely getting the best product for, like, even the Rose Bowl this year.
And I understand it because PZ didn't play, right?
No.
He's that opted out, though, from Penn State.
I understand that.
What happened to the offensive lineman? What was his name? He's coming back next year.
Olo Fashanu, he's still he's been hurt most of the year. I mean, that's different. I mean, he had the injury coming in, but the opt-outs and you're already getting kind of a watered down product regardless. If you're not in the national championship playoff, then there's a lot, they, like we talked about before, Jalen Smith, Notre Dame and Ohio State years ago. He was a lock to be a top 5 pick, got his knee absolutely destroyed, drops to the 2nd round, and now he's he's not the player he was. It ruins careers. So I think that kind of cautionary tale. If you have a chance of going in the draft, there's a lot of people that they're just going to opt out, and how can you blame them? I know, like I see people on Twitter, you're quitting on the team. I don't.
So
I'm in the middle.
I'm torn. Yeah, I'm torn because I understand that because you're in that locker room with those guys day in and day out for 9 months a year. You go on summer break, but you still might work out with some of them whenever you go home, or maybe you don't go home and you just want to get some summertime, springtime work in with these guys, and then it's almost like you quit on them. But you also got to look at it. Hey, I could be drafted in the first 2 rounds. That's millions of dollars that I
That's
am risking.
changing money.
Yeah.
I would never call someone a quitter for opting out.
Mm-mm.
It's in their best interest because you lose out on life-changing money. Who's going to be
Yeah.
there to help you out? It's
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I was gonna say. The same thing. Like, if you, what would you rather have, millions of dollars and like being set financially, or like playing the Listerine mouthwash bowl? And like, the same people that say online like, oh, you're a quitter, like you're quitting on the team, are the same ones that if you do play in that game and you do like completely destroy a part of your body, they say, oh, what a shame, like he would have been such a great player in the NFL, like his career's done, it's such a shame. You can't play both sides of the coin like that.
No.
And I do understand, like, it's a business, at the end of the day, it's kids playing ball, and some of them are there for a career. That's their career.
They say what 1% of college athletes go on to play a professional sport. So it's not for everybody. Now, if I was a guy just going and getting an education, but I was still a 4-year starter, yeah, of course I'm going to play. But I got my education. I got what I came here for. But
Yeah.
those guys, those rare breeds that do go on to the next level, by all means, go make your bread. You got to sit out. I understand it. Am I going to be happy about it? No, I'll be honest with you. I wouldn't be happy about it, but you got to make what you got to do what's best for you. You're not doing what's best for me at that time, because if, like you said, Mott's, you go out there and you get hurt and then you drop and then you're not the player that you were and then you miss out on all this money. Am I there to help you? No, I can't. I can only support myself. Ooh,
Yeah.
speaking about college football and stuff going on, did you see what happened at LSU?
Yeah, tough,
No.
Oh boy,
tough
Did,
scene.
did,
it's
did they
bad.
blow someone out?
Yeah, Purdue, but
Or did-
but
You
but
could see
in another sense, yeah.
a different sense.
Oh, I didn't see what happened.
So there was a receiver, Keyshawn Bout,
Allegedly, yeah, top receiver
him
draft prospect. Yeah,
him and three coaches or something had fun with a woman that's also on the staff.
During the game?
No, it
Oh,
was
I was gonna
at a
say what?
hotel before this bowl game.
Jeez.
So, and they asked Brian Kelly, like, "Hey, can you talk? Why isn't Keyshawn available?" He's like, "Because he can't talk about it," and just stormed off.
well, yeah. Uh,
Yeah,
Brian
yeah.
Kelly sounds like he's mad he didn't get the invite. I mean, I don't know.
I wouldn't invite him either. I mean, look, he looks like a leprechaun. He should get back to Notre Dame.
Yeah, that's a tough scene for LSU. I mean, I don't know if that hurts or helps recruiting, but definitely just a wild scene.
Well,
there.
if
That
it's anything
was-
like what was it, Louisville basketball with what's his name, buying strippers, and then you go get a job at Iona. But I mean,
yeah, he was
Rick Pitino, that's it. Yeah, paying for
getting
strippers.
stuff in the Italian restaurant. I mean, buddy,
With recruits, they were 18-year-old. They were still in high school. Hey, we'll show you a good time.
I mean, he's getting down and dirty after eating some lasagna. I mean, that's like Garfield's ultimate dream, I guess. But I don't know. That's just a wild. There's so many wild stories like that, though. So many.
So I heard one about before NIL and all this stuff, because this is like brand new, and I'm a firm believer. If you're coming to the games to see me, I should get a cut of that. I think they should. But back in the day, like Johnny Manziel era, and it might have been Johnny Manziel, was going into online poker rooms, and recruits and boosters were in these rooms with them, and they'd all raise, and I'm talking like $10,000 each person, and then they'd all fold. So he'd win all the money and then go cash it out, and then he's like, "Okay, I'll go to A&M."
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there was ways around stuff like that.
Yeah.
You you hear a lot of the dark shit. It's interesting in like how sneaky and conniving these schools are.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, no, definitely. There are so many ways around it that I mean people knew, but obviously you can't do anything because it wasn't illegal. Hey, what you get around it. I mean it's murky waters, but at the same time, I couldn't give less of a shit about what happens there. I think the players, the colleges and NCAA is just profiting off them regardless. So, they want a little cut. I'm not gonna knock them for wanting to get endorsements or anything like that. And more power to you. This is America, baby. You want to make a buck, make a buck. I'm not gonna stand in your way.
And here's the thing: if I'm paying the bill or like paying your bills because I'm putting butts in the seats because we're going on a national title run, I better get a little kickback from
Yeah, a
that.
little something, something.
Yeah, you
That's
hear
another
about it
thing
all the
too.
time.
If I'm paying to go to these games and I'm paying for a ticket, like I don't want that money going to Old Man Jenkins, and like
Mhm.
whatever higher office of whatever university. Like I want to give it to like the quarterback, or like that's who I think the money should go to, not Old Man Jenkins over there. That's
Yeah.
just my opinion.
They
Did you
just
ever hear? Oh, go ahead.
I said they just gave an update on Hamlin. One of the writers from Cincinnati said he needed AED and CPR in the field. He's has a pulse, but he's not breathing on his own.
That's tough.
Hmm. That was the one beat writer from the Bengals said. So yeah,
You knew it was bad because like when was the last time they stopped a game? Like did they stop that for like Shazier? Did they do that?
I think
No, they finished the game. Yeah.
Yeah, but they
NFL
didn't go to like a
that's
big
scum.
game intermission, and that's pretty bad. Like that's pretty much paralysis right there.
Same
Yeah.
thing that happened with Rutgers. Remember Eric LeGrand got
Yep.
paralyzed, and they were like, "All right, keep playing." Like,
Yeah.
they just it's all about the money.
Yep.
They don't care how bad they look because people are still gonna watch.
I think that's why they had to actually stop this game because the players that you watch like were mentally not there. Like the guys like Stephon Diggs and Josh Allen, like
Did you see Stephon Diggs was like trying to rally them, and he was like trying to get them hyped up, and they were just like staring at him, and Josh Allen had the 1,000-yard stare. Like, clearly it's not. I don't even know why you temporarily suspend it. Just don't play the damn game tonight. It's not. It's human decency at that point. It's not about making money. You have more than enough if you're the NFL. I think you can afford to delay a game, but yeah, that's
yeah.
I don't know. It's just having a soul, I guess. Not even. That's the lowest form of it. I don't know.
All right, we're moving on to the Pens. Or you guys want to talk any college hoops first?
Oh,
I,
Go
Pitt
ahead.
would have.
I don't have much on it.
I want to take the Roberts rule. Pitt upsetting UNC down in Oakland, and much like Roberts on Twitter, I love getting in on the trolling. I just can't help myself. I love to get people riled up. I tweeted out, Penn State, Pitt, both their records better than UNC. Said what a time, and immediately, the UNC fans in full effect. Which Penn State basketball's been horrible for years. I'm well aware of that fact, but then they start. I tweeted the picture of Roy Williams like collapsing with the vertigo on the court. That's what happens when you're out of the top 25. It's where's the Coach K memes? Like if you listen to the podcast, I'm an equal opportunist. I take shots at Coach K all the time because I really don't have a dog in the fight when it comes to that. But I will say, Coach K retired. You don't see him at the games. You don't see him. He's living a low key life. He's not sideshow Roy Williams, popping up like where's Waldo in the crowd. Don't make it about you. Hubie Davis. I mean, could he be an overrated coach? UNC was what, number one?
Yeah.
Ranked number one preseason.
Yes,
number
they
one?
were.
I mean,
They said this is the worst start by a preseason number one
I think we can
ever.
confirm it is not a great day to be a Tar Heel. I mean, we're doing our March Madness challenge coming up later this week. We got the AP top 25 teams ready to go. No UNC there. So
And
Thank God.
that's the thing. I haven't had a dog in the fight in college basketball for a little while. I haven't followed it, so I think this is the team that I'm going to stick with them. I could be eating my words if it's like Ohio State or something. So if that's the case, like I retract that former statement, and
But it's just for basketball. It's just for basketball.
I can't even do that.
Oh, okay. That's
No.
fair.
No, I just
Yeah.
cannot.
Okay. That's
They
fair.
play
That's
Penn
like
State.
you're telling me to root for West Virginia. I got
Yeah,
you.
like think of even in anything, like
Yeah, even if it's like field hockey, no way.
yeah, like even if it's like chess or like paintball, like no,
Yeah.
I want you to go down. But there's a few teams I do have circled that I want to see them be drawn by myself. So I'm not going to disclose them at this time, but yeah, it's exciting. So we're going to release that tweet this week. Top 25 likers of that tweet will be entered. So whoever you are,
21.
21. Sorry, 21.
4 of us
Yes.
in it, but there's some bad draws like College of Charleston, number 24. Like if you get that draw, that's a sad boy
What's
out.
their mascot? Unless they have a cool mascot.
Yeah, unless they have a cool
I'll take a
mascot.
look. Hold on.
I don't think what people realize is like, we've talked about this for a couple weeks. We're doing it this week. We're going to try and go live. I think we will go live. We'll do a separate episode for the drawing, see who everybody gets. But I don't think people realize that like a lot, I don't say a lot, but top tier teams, top seeded teams get upset every year. So like you're not going to be safe. Like you could come in last place if you get like the year Virginia, Virginia lost as the number 1 seed in the first round. You could get hosed that way. So I mean, it's March Madness is March Madness for a reason. It's going to be wide open. I mean, I'm excited for it. I think it's going to be, this is going to be, shout out to Ryan, the ultimate hunter, small game, medium game, large game. Just just a great idea from Ryan to come up for this.
Camo's in the wash. Some people don't get their camo dirty, so they're wearing it right now. Mine's in the laundry, so it's got entrails on it. Like the guts of animals that whatever have taken out. So
would
some
you
people's
say
camo's in the wash?
Would you say Dan's wearing? Is he appropriating?
That's
Hunter?
show camo?
That's show.
Yeah.
Okay.
His is like I have like functional camo. He has like show camo.
Yeah, you probably wear Sika camo, don't you? Yeah, that bougie stuff. Sika camo is like $800. That's what you wear, ain't it?
Would you
You're
describe
blue collar man over here?
I make my own camo.
What'd you say, Mons?
Sunday best camo, Ryan? Dan,
yeah.
is that what he's wearing?
Yeah. The Canadian tuxedo. But anyway,
College of Charleston's mascot is the Cougars. That's
what do you know his name though?
I don't. Do you?
Clyde the Cougar.
Clyde the Cougar.
That's kind of electric. I could dig it.
You know who may be entering our pool when they hear that the mascot's the Cougars?
Zach Wilson.
Zach Wilson might be entering the chat open to get that draw. He heard Cougars and his radar just.
Right How much camo do you think he owns, Dan? Zach Wilson?
None.
Not
a lick. Nope.
Not a single piece.
Homie went to where? Brigham Young University, didn't he?
He owns one of those white dress shirts and a black short tie.
Yeah, it's a bad day. I forgot to mention this, but Penn State beating Utah, tough day to be a Mormon. So
tough day to be a Ute. Yeah.
Yeah, tough day to be a Ute. Tough day to be a Mormon. They're on the hot seat. But yeah, I mean Zach Wilson, BYU. You don't know what he was doing down there. I mean, something.
You know what I realized about Utah? They get, just like USC, they get a lot of ooses. There's a lot of Samoans that go to Utah.
Oh, yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
Why would you go there?
Go to Hawaii, I don't know.
They all go to
it's
California.
All West Coast, that West Coast thing, yeah.
I guess.
But that's all I got college-wise. Are we talking about the Pens? That's the only downer this weekend. It's a fun game to watch, but I feel like the record in those games aren't that good. They're just
the
one against Philly.
Hold up, let me look.
I just don't think they have that good of a record. I know they won the first one, the Powder Blues. They lost the dark one. They
almost didn't win that one
against the Capitals. What else was there? They had those like brownish ones. I'm talking about. Did they win that? That was against Washington again, right? I don't know.
Do you see who the Winter Classic is next year?
Didn't.
Hopefully, like Northern, like Minnesota and who?
Well, it's Northern.
It's Stadium Series now.
Stadium Series. So it's going to be in Seattle. It's going to be the Kraken versus the Golden Knights.
I feel like you can't do that.
No, they didn't pay their dues.
That's stupid. Is Seattle even cold ever? It's got to be a cold, gritty city.
They had it in LA that one year.
Really? How do you have that outdoors? The ice
is just shitty.
It was like 75.
Yeah, and that's like
that is unreal. That is literally go somewhere. Go to Canada. You can play the Winter Classic. Go to Vancouver. Go to Montreal. Something. Throw me a bone here. Like you can't have Vegas and Seattle. Like, that's got to be the softest thing you'll see is Seattle skating around in the Stadium Series. Like, you got to be mad if you are a team that hasn't played in one yet. Do you think every team's played in one? Winter Classic?
I don't think every team has.
Like, I'd be appalled if I was like the Florida Panthers and I've never played in one.
That's what I think. I don't think the Panthers have ever played.
Yeah.
If I'm looking at this right, they're 2-3 in outdoor games.
Yeah, they don't do pretty well.
Wait, didn't they played Chicago, didn't they? I don't see that one because they got stomped by Chicago. So they're like 2-4 in outdoor games.
They just the Stadium Series, whatever you want to call them, Winter Classics, like the novelty wore off pretty quickly.
Yeah.
But now it's
The
just
best one you'll ever see is Crosby beating Ryan Miller in a shootout. That
was the first.
Cream
Was
of
that the first one?
yeah,
That was the first one we were
the
in.
one I remember.
Yeah.
There
So
had one.
well, the crazy thing about that game is I thought it was going to be a rout early because the Pens go up 2-0 in like the first 7 minutes of the game, and then nothing. They go stagnant. They go stale, and the snow starts coming down, and then Buffalo ends up scoring two. I think one in the second and one in the third, and so it goes to the overtime, and then everyone's like, "I hope we get a shootout. This would be awesome." And then it goes to a shootout. It was great. I think that one exceeded expectations, and everyone after that just it was okay.
That's
They're
the
playing
one that
outside.
was cool because I remember I was like 10 or 11. I had that date. I didn't circle many dates on my calendar back then, but I remember in marker that thing was circled on my calendar. And the Battle of PA was pretty cool. You got to admit that the entrances were pretty sick. Was
They
that
should have played.
Still?
Yeah,
That
because they should have played that one at Happy Valley. They should have.
They should have. That
100,000 people.
So
Yes.
Yeah.
They
wouldn't have
would have
filled
been
that stadium. No.
Oh yes, they would have.
You
Oh
think?
yes, they would have. Oh yeah.
Really?
Yes, I almost guarantee because you got to think you're getting 50,000 from each side meeting in the middle. Oh yeah, they would have filled it.
Yeah.
Absolutely,
That
they
would
would
have
have filled
been.
that
Do you
stadium.
think that'd have been the largest hockey crowd? Like,
Yeah, because at the right now, I think was that Detroit one that they played up at the Big House. Whoever Detroit played that year, and that's the largest attendance at a hockey game.
Yeah, it would have made too much sense to play that up at Beaver Stadium. I mean, middle of the state, Battle of PA. It makes too much sense for the NHL.
No, it wasn't the NHL's fault. It was Penn State's fault. They wouldn't let them.
Yeah,
Penn State wouldn't let them.
imagine a hat trick of 100,000 people, 100,000 hats you have to clean up.
That'd be awesome.
well, not everyone's gonna be throwing their hat. Like it's only gonna be
50. Let's say 50,000.
Okay, 90,000.
Philly people can't afford it.
Yeah.
Scum over there.
I mean, they're eating pigeons, so yeah, I wouldn't bet on them being able to. They can't afford to chuck their hat on the ice. So I don't know.
No.
That's all I got on the Pens, though. Recent skid, but hopefully
Yeah.
Brian Dumoulin, I just want to say this. Brian Dumoulin was a great defenseman for the Penguins for a lot of years, but he's just fallen off so much. I don't know how you keep putting him in the lineup. At this point, you go with Ruedel, you go with Friedman. I don't care if it's their offside. He's a liability at this point. When him and Ruda were paired up together, they're statistically the worst pairing in the NHL.
Yes.
And a lot of people are giving him a pass because of what he's done for the Penguins, but it is a business and that's a team decision. For as much as we ragged on Jack Johnson and how awful he was, Dumoulin's having a Jack Johnson-esque type year. You can't keep trotting him out there. I'm sorry.
And it's like,
Yeah.
like you said, it's a business. You can't put him out there. And it's almost like you see this Hextall era that, oh, well, Malkin, Crosby, Letang have what they've done for this organization, and they wanted to keep them together. Was it the greatest idea? I don't think so, but it is what it is. I'm not a general manager. That's why they pay somebody to do it. They make the big bucks. You would think that they would get it right.
See, I'm fine with that though, because they're still playing at a very high level. I mean, I'm more disappointed with Hextall. Like you saw him in Philly when he was the GM. He's the complete opposite of Jim Rutherford, where Rutherford was just wheeling and dealing.
Mm-hmm.
Hextall's too cautious, and I think, like you said, Dan, it's like the team's too stagnant. They're just not exciting. They don't have the third, fourth lines like we talked about, where it's just they're not ferociously forechecking. They just don't have that it factor. Like they have the good players, don't get me wrong. They'll win because of just the talent of Crosby, Malkin, Letang, Gensel, those guys, but they're just, I hate to say it, they're a bland hockey team.
Very. And you're not going to get that, beat them up third line when you have Kasperi Kapanen in there, and nobody's going to take that contract. I don't know what Ronnie Hextall was thinking. It all comes back to management, but do I hope they turn it around? Absolutely. That's my team. And they went 13-7, or they're 13 out of their last 17 games or wins. So it's not like they can't win.
Yeah.
They just they can't be going on these long let's see here. Loss in OT, loss in OT, loss in their last 5. So you still get 2 loser points out of that, but still you can't be going on a 5-game skid of losses. You just can't have that because you're just leaving points out there, especially when you're playing teams in your division. You're playing the Islanders, you're playing the Hurricanes, you're playing the Devils. They're all in the East. You're dropping, and before you know it, even with the loser point, you just get buried and you can't make that ground back up.
Oh, no, I agree.
No. But hey, that's what we'll have to rely on pretty soon because Steelers got probably, I'm going to say, honestly, 1 game left. We're going to talk about the Steelers one more time.
Yeah.
We're done with college football,
Yeah.
What are we going to talk about? That's why we have this college football poll.
One to pitchers and catchers report.
No. Pirate talk. There's a little tiny light at the end of the tunnel. Did you see the report this week?
Are we thinking about the same one? 2 teams?
2 teams are going to be up for sale this year.
Yep.
Yes. The Pirates?
Possibly. They said we'll know in early stages of 2023, so we'll see.
It's early stages.
It is.
It's second day. Ryan's already ready. Early stages. Let's get this shit on the road.
You think Bob Nutting's just tired of all the memes and
are the Youngsters
he's getting?
Bid in? We open up the wallets?
Oh, yeah, we need billions, my guy. That's like when A-Rod tried to buy the Mets or the Astros years ago. I can't remember, or whoever he tried to buy years ago. Him and J-Lo were trying to put money together and couldn't get enough money together, couldn't get enough sponsors together and stuff. And you're like, well, A-Rod made a shit ton of money. You need billions.
You know what we should do? Just walk up to the front office and knock on their door and say we'd like to place a bid.
Would like to throw Dan can throw his camo hat in the ring.
I'll come in with $1, be like, this should be enough.
But so that's exciting news. And then the other news that it does directly relate to the podcast, Mr. Couch, you have a challenger.
What's that?
Yeah. So our one family friend, John Ryan from Boston, he was living in PA, working at 2-6, moved down to Georgia. He is a huge Patriots, Bruins, Red Sox fan, and he said he needs to come on here and humble us. So
humble me.
It'll be literally 4-on-1.
So here's the thing.
It'll be a massacre.
So how old's this guy?
50s.
He's in his 50s? Okay.
Yeah.
Because I was going to take the approach, you didn't like the Patriots until they started winning. You probably didn't even know what a Super Bowl was. But if you're in your 50s, you understand what a Super Bowl is, and I understand that. So you were
too much Pittsburgh talk, and he said, educate us, humble us. I don't think he understands that it's a Pittsburgh podcast. So
you better understand this, and he listens to me. We're in Pittsburgh. We're in a 4-1-2. We ain't up there in Boston. What do you buy? You want to fight about it? You in Boston? Get out.
If you honestly, it'd be a sorry sight. We give each other guff, but whenever it's us 4 on one person, I'd hate to be on the receiving end of that.
Yeah, I will agree with him on the Boston Red Sox though, because that's probably my second team. Excuse me, because like I've said it for years, the Buccos sucked for 21 years of my life.
Yeah,
I wasn't gonna I was happy they made the wild card and stuff. But Boston was my team. I like the Sox. I like Manny, Big Papi, Jason Varitek, and all them guys.
He's the shit talker against the Steelers and Penguins. So we'll have plenty to discuss. If he wants the smoke, he has the open invitation to hop on and
the Thunderdome. That's what we'll call it.
Welcome to the Thunderdome, John Ryan. That's
in the past, let's say 16 years. How many cups has Boston won? 1? Yeah. How many is the Pens won? 3. Okay. I know you got us in, World Series championships with what, one or two in the past 15 years. Okay, sorry. But then we didn't have to cheat for
Mhm.
the Lombardi trophies. I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm tired of people riding the coattails. Oh, he's the GOAT. Tom Brady's the GOAT. No, he cheated, and you know it. But you don't see it that way. You're just like DJ Oberdorf because you got a homer pick on everything,
Crack shot.
and your team is the best at everything. So, mic drop.
You know
You
what?
come
I
on.
can
You come
already-
on the pod.
I
invite
can
you.
already hear the notification of DJ messaging us. He's gonna listen up to this point. He's be like, "Dan, what's with the ricochet shot there?" You know what? I already feel it coming. Mark this timestamp. He's calling us out.
I bump set and spiked myself. So
You know what?
I just had it up.
And we've told him, we'd love to have DJ on the pod because it would be some electric content. I'll say that. It would be.
That's the first podcast that I want to do with us all in the same room if we have him on, because no, because there's gonna be a lot of talking here and talking over each other, and nobody's gonna be able to understand it. That way, I can stay calm, cool, and collected. Get like in that party the other day, I was screaming. I
Dude,
was
it was
so mad.
It was 10 in the morning. I was like, shut the hell up.
You know who was stirring the pot?
Yeah.
You know who was stirring the pot? I'm an elite pot stirrer, though. You gotta admit that.
You're an elite meme maker too. I don't know if you saw that, Dan. The one Real Ryan made about the Steelers' playoff chances, 255,000 views on it.
You know why?
Wow.
It's the gift that keeps on giving, because every time they win, I think they push it out more.
Yeah.
So if they win next week, we might go viral.
You're saying there's a chance.
So you're an elite hunter and meme maker and pot star. You're gonna have to add. You're gonna have to update.
Masters of all levels: the web, nature, and what's is there any other ones? Indoors, all axes, X, Y, and Z axes, right?
Indoors, outdoors, and the cloud. How about
Land,
that?
air, sea.
Yeah.
I mean, you can make a barrel. I mean, I heard
The
you're
metaverse, master of the metaverse.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just elite, all around. All right, that's sports talk. Do we got our Jags of the week? Anybody?
Yep.
I got one. It's all right. What would you rate yours, Dan?
10 out of 10.
Okay, I'll go first. What about you, Andrew? What's yours?
I have one. You go.
Okay, mine's I'd say bottom tier. So, you know where it's coming from. Where do you think this is located?
The Dirty Bird.
Yeah, because that's where the most interaction people watching it gets at. So, like we said, the self-checkout's become a mess. Everyone knows how to use it now. It was once a safe haven for us younger people, but I'm waiting in line, and I noticed this guy he's having a tough time at the self-checkout. And I listen a little closer. When I hear something going down, I open my ears a little bit. And this guy, he's complaining about the person bagging his items is what I was getting at. And I was like, dude, you're at a self-checkout. You're bagging your own items. Are you getting mad at yourself? I don't know. I just think he just didn't get the concept. That's my Jag of the week. Blaming the cashier when you are basically the cashier of the self-checkout.
Yeah. It is self-checkout. It should say 45 and younger. And that's it. Because I was up there the other day, and that line stretched the whole way to the condiments. So you know how long that line was. It was astronomical.
Yeah. It was bad. All right. That's mine, though.
I liked it. No, my Jag of the week, guy in Target. We were there today. Turn down the aisle. We're in the homeware. We're looking for some stuff for the kitchen. Guy has his ass cracked completely out. That's not something that you're prepared to see in the middle of the aisle. I can confirm he was not a plumber. He was not working on anything of that sort at the time.
No.
But, I was tempted to pull a quarter out and just drop it right in.
Or swipe your card.
Swipe my card. I want to insert the chip there, but
No.
It's a tough scene. Pull your pants up, buddy. You're at Target, buy a belt. I don't know what to tell you. Just put the ass crack away. Jag of the week.
Especially Target. It's supposed to be the bougie Walmart. And you don't want to. You'll see that at Walmart. And that's fine.
That's what I mean. You expect
that's fine.
Walmart, Dirty Bird. You'll see that. Target. You figure you wouldn't see that. That's what I think was the most shocking part of it. But yeah, tough scene for that gentleman in the homeware.
Just real quick about Walmart. For years, my old man refused to go to a Walmart, and then they put that one up there in the Heights, and Mom would make him go all the time. And he's like, "Let me get the foil." And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" He'd put foil in his hat. He's like, I don't want these stupid people contaminating my brain." And I'm like, "You're joking." He'd come home and take the foil out. He's convinced that place is just ran by idiots and it's for idiots. So,
well, have you ever been there on like a Friday the 13th, or like have you ever been there on a full moon? It is like
no.
We're gonna have to do. I think we need to go in there and like.
I saw someone like laid out there before.
Yeah,
like just laying there.
That's
you go.
I didn't confront this individual, but I was like, "What's going on?"
Wow.
Can't be laid out in Walmart.
Planking? Was it the planking challenge, or is he just out?
It was like, like what's that thing like Galileo drew or whatever, Da Vinci with like all the arms and legs on
The
it?
anatomy.
Yeah, that's what it looked like. There was just limbs.
Like people that fall asleep in public stores, I will roast them every time. So the best one was our dad's notorious for like would be at a Macy's or a Penny's, and he'd be on the chairs, right outside the entrance. The one time he was sleeping, a guy thought he was dead. Came up, started poking him, like he's just out. So that's
we
like,
don't know, yeah.
well, no, but yeah, he was mistaken for a dead man at one point while he was napping outside of Macy's. So, you never know. You never know what you're gonna see. But when it's Walmart, you gotta put your game face on, because it's just that's the Thunderdome right there.
Yeah.
Also, there's a certain path that you should take through Walmart, and people that ignore that are psychos. Like, you gotta start in the food section and then make your way around like electronics and then like homeware.
Yes.
Like, if you're starting in homeware and ending at food, like,
yes.
check this man's browser.
Reevaluate yourself. Yeah.
Check the hard drive. All right,
so
Dan.
cracking my knuckles because this one's great. So for I don't know, a couple months now, let's just say we've been having some issues with somebody who's the ultimate troll. And he doesn't take credit for being the ultimate troll. He just thinks he's the best at everything. Ryan McDermott, you are my Jag of the week. You're my Jag of 2022. The best at everything. The best hunter, the best hauler, the best this, the best memer, the best troller. Well, I'm here to tell you something, buddy. I put my camo on just for you. And you even asked if it was a shot at you, and it was.
My camo's in the wash.
Because I don't think you've ever stepped foot into a woods or a field with a firearm. And I'm tired of the slander and you acting like you're the greatest hunter. Let me tell you something. Spring gobbler's coming up. You want to go turkey hunting with me?
I got
a gun for you. I got a gun for you. You don't even know what it is. Jag of the week. Ryan McDermott, because you get under my skin. You couldn't even haul a dresser.
Yeah, I could.
I rest my
I didn't get specs before.
So that's why I'm in full camo for my friend Ryan McDermott to show him.
All right, I'll bring my slingshot. I'll be like, what's the guy that beat the locomotive or whatever? John Henry?
Yeah.
You can use your fancy gadgets and all whatever to get how many turkeys you want. But I'm going to use the ancestral, the humble slingshot, some sticks and rocks. And you know what? I'm going to beat the machine. That is you. You can use your whatever ways, but I'll go the classic route. I'll bring in more birds than you ever will.
Ryan, there's a
I'll
bag
fill the
limit.
freezer.
One. You can get one.
Yeah.
You get one. One.
That's what they want you to think. I'm going back to the olden ways.
I abide by the law.
That's where you got lost, I guess.
Scariest thing
that's not the
you ever
hunter's
see.
code.
The scariest thing you ever
true
see is the
hunter.
game commission coming up. Hey, can I see your license? And you're sitting on 4 birds.
4 birds?
So
not if I divvy them out to the homeless like a good person. You're only thinking about
Marshawn Lynch.
Yeah.
So I figured I'd have to have some infighting here.
That is the true hunter. You're thinking of others, and you're filling other people's freezers. Dan's just in it for himself.
This is really backfired on you, Dave.
Yeah,
This isn't going the way you thought.
I don't get how it's backfired on me whenever you're not a man of your word. How many animals have you harvested?
Harvested?
Yeah.
Like a ton. I don't know.
A ton?
I can't even
a ton.
count.
You can't even
I
count.
bet you can count. I can't even count mine.
You got any mounts?
No.
No.
Sound like trophy mine around.
Oh, okay.
I act like I've been there before.
Oh,
Look at it.
okay. Yeah. No, you don't. No, you don't.
I don't mount mine because I don't have to act like I act like I've been there before.
Yeah. Hey, real quick though, Donovan Mitchell for the Cavs, 71 points right now.
How much time's left?
I'm gonna have to take a look at how
It's
much.
halftime.
See, this is what I mean. This is exactly what I mean.
Troll, because he stirs the pot so much, and he gets away with it. That was the final in OT, so 71 points. 71.
He knows that he can get into anybody's head rent free. You know who he gets real bad? DJ Oberdorf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you're a better Call of Duty player than him, and you know it. We all know it.
I have photographic proof too.
He's admitted it.
That's part. The best there was, the best there is, and the best there ever will be.
So, so what day are we gonna do the special one for the drawings for the March Madness Challenge? We have Dan. You be available Thursday night?
No, Friday.
Friday?
Yeah.
We could probably do it Friday. Yeah.
It'll have to be late. We have a game.
I'm off. It's up to you guys.
I mean, if we want to do it after we get back from the game, it's an away game, but I mean, it'll be later, but we can do it.
That don't hurt me. Yeah,
All
don't bother me at all.
I take on all challenges.
It'll only be like a half hour, 45-minute show. You would think we're just spinning a wheel. Yeah.
And we can test the thing you want to test out.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah,
we can test it out and see. And then also, I was thinking, like, you know how they do Selection Sunday? Do you guys want to do like a special pod for that, possibly?
Yeah. I'd like to actually do that one live if you guys want.
Oh yeah,
I'm cool with that. Yeah,
we can set it up here. At TV here, and the big sectional couch. We can get everything. We can do a live one for Madness. I'd be down for that.
All right, I'll bring all my equipment too that time, and we'll do it up a little better than we did with the draft. We were kind of just flying by the seat of our pants on that one.
Yeah, because then we can see like what teams, like who has where. Like that'll be cool.
We can get, I'm sure DJ and them, they'll be good. So we'll be able to get everyone together, do a little live reaction of our draws and BS
press conferences.
Yeah,
and then
conference.
Naturally, I assume we'll probably do a bracket thing as well. Yeah, like set it up on ESPN or something, Yahoo, wherever you guys set it up.
That's a guarantee. Yeah.
Okay.
I usually do it like a different way though. Like I personally make my brackets different. Like a lot of people choose like the better teams. Sometimes I choose like cooler mascots out of the two, and I do a lot better than like.
Are you talking like your own bracket to pick?
Yeah.
Oh, then yeah. See, there's no right way or wrong way to pick a bracket because it's always going to get busted. There hasn't been a perfect bracket in years. So.
Yeah, since my last one, I think that was like.
My God.
I think that was like the last time it went down.
Yeah. Perfect brackets too. I'm off the scene.
Let's do it.
No.
I'm done.
All right, yeah. That's it. We're calling it. Anything else from anybody?
Shocked. No. Yarko Rutu is my random Pittsburgh athlete.
I'm not even thinking one.
Matthew Barnaby.
But right. Keep DeMar Hamlin. Thoughts and prayers. Critical condition. But definitely that was a sobering moment. Seeing that unfold and just crazy. But we'll be back at it next week. I mean, we'll have the special show here Friday night to see how everyone's draws, and then we'll get back into the swing of things. 2023, big year for us. I'm anticipating it.
Yep. Let's blow last year's numbers out of the water. Like Andrew said, we're climbing pretty steadily. So appreciate it all. Look out for that tweet. So Andrew, you can compose that.
I'll put out the rankings tonight, and I'll get some people. I'll see who everyone wants. Get some feedback on it. And Friday night we'll be doing the live show, spinning the wheel. The wheel, as Ryan said, the wheel is just. So you can't complain with what draw you get because
we're just gotta keep track of what orders of favorites come in. Because then if it's like, or should we do replies? Because you can see the timestamp on those.
Yeah.
We'll do replies.
Yeah.
Let's do replies.
Just and then comment a number. So
Yeah, comment the number.
1, 2, 3, and just make it easy. Just
Yeah.
comment the number.
Yeah.
So if you see that 14's already there, you're 15. It's not hard. We can figure it out.
Yeah.
Yep.
I know we'll have some trolls, and thank God Ryan's on our side on this one because he'd be 45.
And he'll make a burner account just to troll us. I guarantee you. He'll troll him. He'll troll our own podcast. He can't help himself.
Look at him.
Yeah, it's like
Look at that smug look.
I do have like a random email I can make a burner for.
No.
Just like troll people without like knowing. All right. Episode 24. Thanks for listening. Roberts isn't here to yell at me for clicking the button.